Hi, Jacob. Thanks so much for joining me today. We just jumped off of Clubhouse talking about this awesome topic, new realtor marketing and mindset. And today's topic was around things I wish I knew. And I love this topic because, on a personal level, there's so many learning that happened in the past couple of, weeks after I got my license that I realized, my goodness, I wasn't prepared for this. I wish I had known all of this. And especially when I was going through my training, and in particular, when I had my first listing and my first buyer client. And a lot of my conversations were around, my educational institution didn't prepare me for this. And I actually, if you go into my channel, you'll see a video, and I'll actually add it in my description below. I talked about this topic about me not being prepared. And I feel like that's something, the educational body needs to take responsibility for, is that's another reason why this NRA number about, 87% of agents don't make it, is because of this very good reasons. It's because they weren't provided the right resources. They have no clue what they're doing. And a lot of the things about aligning yourself with the right brokerage and understanding, what is this model of being self-employed and being an entrepreneur, right? And you're really running a business, and that wasn't clear when you take the program. And I only understood it after, when I started realizing, when I was putting together my budget and when I spoke to my accountant. And, I think that some of those things that a lot of agents don't even know that they have to talk to an accountant, and that was some of the things that I wanted to tell people is, speak to an accountant, figure out what you can and can't claim. And that commission check you get, the 100% isn't all yours. You have to pay back taxes. And how are you going to keep yourself organized? And I learned this while watching one of Brian Casella's video, and I immediately implemented that. And even, having your own separate checking account for real estate and putting in a certain amount in there so that your fees are getting pulled out. So when it comes to tax season, voila, you have a full list of all of your expenses. You can print it out and give it to your accountant, and it's easy for bookkeeping. But similar situation, get yourself an expense credit card, right? When you're on the road and you offer a coffee for your agent, for your clients, that's tracked as well. And I also have an app on my phone that tracks my mileage. This is a business, and you can expense these some of these items. And again, speak to your accountant, ask for that stuff. But one of the things that I didn't realize is how much things cost. The program itself, you're like, okay, I understand the program cost is total is this, but getting your business start up and running, luckily for us at our brokerage, we have access to, all-in-one CRM website tool. So we don't have to pay for a website, but a lot of the time you have to pay for, some of the brokerages don't have websites. So you have to pay for a domain fee, a hosting fee, and ask someone to help you design your website. And that's just one part of starting up your branding and marketing. And what about running ads? And then what if you get your first listing, all the amount of, startup, like all the fees that you have to put into marketing that property as well, so that you can build your business from that listing as well. And another big thing that I wish I knew is that I knew that our brokerage, I love our brokerage model. I talk about this all the time. I love the multiple streams of income model. And that's exactly why I joined this brokerage, is because I don't want to rely on earned income. And I knew that I want to eventually start building my team, not the traditional way, because I didn't want it to have liability, overhead cost, and, all the other things that come with running a traditional. I don't want to see any other people's paperwork, let alone I don't like looking at my own paperwork, So I wanted to come to a point where I'm earning money passively, but also because I worked in marketing for over 9 years. That's my expertise, and that's what I'm really good at. And I can help agents with that same, like how I, took my business to the next level in the past 5 months of having my license. I want to be able to provide that kind of learnings to some of the people on my, so that's a thing that I didn't quite know that I would jump into this early in my career, is, dipping into that resource of building your own team and this revenue share organization that we have access to. The past 5 months, I have 8 agents across North America on my team. And these are people that they're my team members, and I have I have a very invested, interest in making sure they're motivated and they do well. And I wish I had known that I was going to get into it this early in the game, because I would have done a business plan, going after building my team ahead of time, if I'd known that I would be first so good at it, because I'm enjoying it and it's going to become a big part of my business. But I was so focused on being a part-time agent because I have a full-time job. I have very young kids, and And I knew that I got this license again as a way to supplement my investment business that I was doing with my husband to give me more knowledge. And because I was looking into joint venturing with potential people and having to be that knowledge holder. And when I was seeking capital, I wanted to, that's the only reason why I wanted to get my license, and that I would purchase and close on these deals. So it'll be an additional opportunity that we had. But it all changed when we dived in, we created a business plan, and now that my husband got his license and we started recruiting and, building our own revenue share organization, I realized, my goodness, the possibilities, So anyways, so I want to come back to you in terms of what are some things that, you wish you knew?
Going back to your first point, like talking about the schools and the courses, they literally just tell you everything you can and can't do. They don't even talk about the transactional processes, the order of things, the paperwork. You're just showed, like at least here in Texas, you're showed that TREC, which is our Texas Real Estate Commission, they provide you a small limit of forms that you're allowed to use, and it's not even a quarter of what you need. So now you got to join the Realtor Association, which is more money every year. You just paid all this money to get licensed. Now you got another big chunk of fee. And now they're going to give you all the other documents. And so it's that. And then, they really don't even, I feel like they should have a segment that talks about what to look for when you're looking for a brokerage. Now, you and I, we're kind of cut from the same cloth where we prepared ourselves in the beginning looking for a brokerage. But, I started looking at all the other big name brands, and just because I have family in the real estate business, and I just keep seeing the traditional way that they were doing things, and I didn't like it because, there is a joke among real estate agents is they don't retire, they expire, because the moment you don't do a listing, you're done. And so they don't talk about those things and preparing yourself. And, with a brokerage, I didn't know you were supposed to ask for what's your commission split, what's your cap. And, the way I started figuring that out is when I had submitted my application, they also need to tell you that you're going to get a zillion freaking emails and phone calls, everybody trying to recruit you. But one lady told me, oh, we don't have splits. We just have a monthly fee. And I was like, a split? And I didn't even know about a split. I just, I figured they had a set percentage they paid you. And, so nobody knew that. So in the beginning, when I figured that out, then I started researching. Then obviously I stumbled on the brokerage that I'm with. And I love the fact that they actually let me continue to build a business like I did with my other businesses, multiple streams of income. And I never would have thought within less than 90 days of being a real estate agent that I would have 2 agents, right? And I wasn't even considering build a team. My goal was to be a broker. And here in Texas, you have to be an agent for 5 years. And so I was like, my goal is to be a broker because, like I said on our last videos, I wanted a sales team. Why I know my hard work is working, but there's times when you can't work. You get sick, kids, vacations, that you still need income. And when you're self-employed or a business owner, sometimes if you're not making money, you're not making money, right? If you're not the one out there doing it. So I wanted an actual business. I didn't want to be self-employed anymore. And so that was one of the other things. And two, that it's not necessarily this glamorous job that the $1 million listing makes it out to be. Sometimes on the list of careers, we get kind of put down there by used car salesmen. And it's just because some other people were in the industry for us and they're more worried about their commission than helping their client. And so I wish that I would have known that people have that stigma towards us, that, we want to sell and help a client buy the most expensive house, so that was another thing. And that really that I could have started building a business even sooner. So, I encourage everybody to get out there and start asking questions, making sure that your brokerage actually fits your business model, because there's so many brokerages out there. And I know our brokerage isn't for everybody, and you got to find what fits with you, because everybody's business goals are different. And then the fees too, start asking about fees, because even with brokerages, there's a lot of times big application fees. You have your monthly desk fees, you have franchise fees. You need to ask those important questions and make sure that all of your hard work, you're getting the most money for that transaction. And, I'm so thankful for our brokerage that for like a small $85 fee, we get access to this amazing CRM. all these programs and resources that, as a tech guy in the digital marketing world, that I kind of geek out on all the time, that even me, I'm like, wow, there's so much of this that I haven't even utilized yet. So, start asking questions. You can never ask too many questions. It's your business, it's your livelihood, it's how you're going to provide for yourself, or if you have a family. So make sure you're asking the important questions and the right questions. And I know Darmila and I are here to help you guys in that, and that you could always reach out to us. And even if it's just to know what to ask, we'd be happy to talk to you about our brokerage, or some questions you need to be asking for whoever you're interviewing with. But we're here to help and to share our journey as a new real estate agent, and make sure that we're all not a part of that 87% that don't succeed as a real estate agent in the first 5 years, and that we're a part of that 10% that's actually producing, that's active. So that is my goal as a real estate and a realtor.
I love that. And before we close the conversation, there are a couple of things I wanted to mention. And, today we had Shane Carvalho as our guest. And again, he's awesome because of his number of years, and he's someone who is a great example of someone who really took his business to the next level. So we take it seriously when he says, I wish I'd known this, or I wish I'd done this earlier in my career. And one of the things he said was, you touched upon it a little bit, is your CRM. Use it, folks. Your brokerage, they pay a lot of money for this. So if you have access to this tool, use it. And if you don't, go find one. And we're really privileged and lucky, really, because it's way beyond how much we pay for it from our monthly fees. Because I will tell you, it is one of the best CRMs that are out there. I use it on a regular basis. If you go onto my YouTube channel, you can see a number of tutorials that I do on KV Core, and it is a robust technology tool that is going to be, it's really is instrumental that you leverage this, because there's tons of tools in there that are not only going to move your business forward, it's really going to take it to the next level and help you bring in clients, guys. It is a lead gen tool. It has a website integrated in it that you don't have to pay any additional fees to run, right? So leverage these tools that are being given by your brokerage. It's super important, and align with the brokerage that have tools like these, because I will tell you, there are brokerage that don't have tools like this, and let alone some brokerages don't even have access to telelistings and do not call list and all those kind of stuff that I leverage, on a daily basis to build my lead generation and my pipeline. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is, ensure everything is in writing, guys. Every conversation and touch points where you're sharing advice and recommendation with your buyers and sellers or any clients, put them in writing. It is, whether it's to a text messages, through an email, make sure that it's tracked, because trust me, when you're 3-4 months in and somebody calls you and says, you mentioned this to me, and you can be like, no, I actually meant this. And then you have something to back it up, because I will tell you, including myself, our memories isn't the greatest, especially when you're at the point where your business is growing so fast. You want to make sure that you're able to track and document your processes. But thank you so much, Jacob, for joining me. And like we said before, we have a private Facebook group that we started when we started this discussion, called New Realtor Marketing and Mindset. So please feel free to request access and get inside and have access to tons of resources myself and Jacob share. And and if you have any questions, feel free to what Jacob said, comment in this video below, and we'll happy to answer them for you. And if you want to you want to have a private meeting with us, and you want to ask us more questions, feel free to grab the link in the description below for a link to our calendar. We're happy to speak with you. And Jacob and I have been doing this for the past 6 weeks. These 12 sessions, really taking your license to the next level, your business to the next level. We were looking at different ways to connect with you. And if you have other topics that you want us to cover, please reach out to us. And our social media, our handles are also in the description, so that you can connect with us there as well. Thank you so much, Jacob. Have a wonderful night.
You too.